Hey everybody, it's Dusten here from Electrician Information Resource, and then today I'm hanging out in the nice sun here in Spruce Grove with Matt from Positive Power, and we're going to learn a little bit about his company, what he's all about, and he's going to tell us about our great services that he provides. So I'll get Matt to introduce himself, and we'll go from there.
Hello, I'm Matt, and I'm the owner-operator of Positive Power Electrical Services. I'm local to Parkland County, and I service the greater Edmonton area for any electrical contracting needs.
Cool, right on, man. So, when did you start your company?
Well, I started my company in 2013, just kind of as a side gig. I was working for contractors here and there, and people would call me and ask me to do their basement or whatever.
Okay.
And I wanted to keep it legitimate and above the table. I didn't want to be like a fly-by-night backyard kind of guy, right? So I started it up as a part-time thing, and then just after getting a job and then working through the project and getting laid off and then having to find another job, and I figured if I was putting that much effort into finding a job, why not
make it your own?
Yeah.
Nice.
Put it into finding work.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I've been doing it full time on my own for about 3 years now.
Nice. So other than maybe wanting or to do your own work, like was there any other motivating factors why you started your company?
Well, why does anybody want to go into business for themselves? They get to be their own boss. They get to set their own schedule. That sort of thing. Those are the perks. Those are the great things about
More independence.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
Nobody tells you about the scary things about running a business, but
yeah, you find out the hard way. But
yeah,
that's a good learning curve, and no one can take that knowledge away, I'd say. So
exactly. Yeah.
Good stuff. So when you first started out, did you start with a certain amount of services that you wanted to focus on, or did you mostly residential, commercial, or maybe pick one or the other?
Yeah, I started off mostly geared toward residential. I am mostly comprised of residential services right now. I am expanding and trying to expand into the commercial market for sure.
Cool.
So I do, take care of any residential and commercial needs.
Talking with some other companies, I know getting into commercial, probably the biggest thing is like I guess funding and buying your material and being able to bid on those large jobs. Is that kind of a hindering factor for you?
Yeah, for sure. It's being able to, you need the buying power. You need to these big projects where you don't, you need to be able to float yourself for that amount of time, right? So.
Yeah, I hear you there. So I guess within the residential sector, do you provide any specific services? Maybe some that are like aluminum wiring, or is there something like specific services you really go after in the residential sector?
No, I pretty much anything residential. Whether you need a light fixture changed, you've got a 20-foot ceiling and you need someone with a tall ladder to get up there and change it, I can do that. Or finishing basements right up to new custom home construction.
Nice. Anything in a house, you got it covered?
You betcha.
Right on. What would you say the toughest thing that you went through when you first started your company?
Would be getting clients. Would be getting the phone to ring is the hardest.
Yeah.
Hardest part.
Yeah, I guess when you're working for someone else, they usually got that covered, and you're just out there doing the work. You're doing a good job, but acquiring the customers, that's definitely a large hurdle when you're first starting out.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess knowing what you know now, is there anything you do differently from first opening up? Like maybe trying to figure out more about how to acquire customers? Stuff like that, or is there anything else?
I mean, I definitely took the slow approach to it, right? I didn't quit my job and open a company. I kept my job and I opened a company and slowly worked it up until I was at the point where I could do it on my own.
Okay.
But yeah, there's definitely been some times where the phone doesn't ring and you're out there trying to drum up some work, and it gets tough, but I think everyone goes through those struggles.
So knowing what you know now, would you have done anything differently or learned something that you might have done differently from day one?
Yeah, I probably would have learned a little bit more on building a brand and getting like name recognition out there. That's one thing that once I did that, once I got online and had a website and had, you know, the decals and stuff on the truck,
Yeah.
it gets into people's head more. They see it and they're more aware of it. So
I think a huge thing, yeah, plastering your truck. You drive around, it's free advertising
it's a mobile billboard right
all day
there,
long.
yeah.
So yeah, that's good stuff. Especially if you're parked in a new house or just a freshly built house, people can see that. Hey, there's a residential electrician, probably working on a new house. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's good stuff. Let's say over the last year or so, what would you say the toughest part is about running your business? I know COVID has affected quite a bit of people, but electrician is still essential service. So have you seen a huge dip with that? And other than that, has it been pretty steady or?
Yeah, it's been pretty steady. There was a little bit of a dip. Generally, the after Christmas time, January, February is always really slow anyway. So
People spend their money in December or burn up their budget
Yeah.
and then hanging out after all the Christmas bills.
yeah, and then they're just in hibernation, so they're not really looking at doing any projects. So yeah, that's basically the biggest challenge, is making it through those slow times of the year.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything you change moving forward, knowing that each year? Like, have you come up or you face that every year? So are you trying to brainstorm any ideas that might help for the January, February dip kind of thing?
Yeah, so I think my main focus right now is trying to get more service customers,
Okay.
so that when the projects and the construction slow down, you know,
You're still getting the maintenance
people
calls.
need a maintenance guy to come into their rental properties or their apartment
Okay.
buildings or their grocery stores and stuff like that, so the service can keep it going.
So you're trying to get maybe in touch with an apartment owner or a large rental company and
Yeah.
pitch your services
Yeah,
there.
property managers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because yeah, you get in touch with one of those, they could have 10 different apartment buildings, which is hundreds of different apartments. So
Yeah.
awesome. Okay. If a customer was to choose between you and maybe 3 other companies just like it, which there's lots of residential electricians out there, what would you say why they would choose you? What's your biggest competitive edge?
You know, it's really hard to say. I do get a ton of compliments on my attention to detail and my cleanliness of work.
Yeah.
So when I'm running my wires, they're nice and straight, and they're you know,
Even though they're hidden behind drywall.
even
yeah.
though they're hidden behind walls, it makes it easier for drywallers to know, well, this wire is running at this height, so they're not going to put screws, you know,
Yeah.
right? And then even the exposed part where the panels are, everything's nice and straight coming down and in.
Nice.
Yeah. So I do get a lot of compliments on my quality of work.
Right on. Well, even running into inspectors, if they see stuff like this, they're going to be really looking at your stuff. They might not care about your wires doing that or say about it, but they're looking at other stuff a lot more in detail. But I think if they see a guy that tries to do everything clean, they might be a little bit more lenient. Have you found that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I mean, you do gain a rapport with the inspectors over time, right?
Yeah.
So if they do a few of your inspections and they're happy with those, then they know that they can trust that your work is done right.
Yeah, man. Okay. What would you say your number one way of bringing in new customers is currently? Is it word of mouth, or are you actively trying to advertise your website? What do you?
I'm 100% word of mouth and
Okay.
referral based. Other than this, I don't have any advertising.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just word of mouth. Happy customers tell their friends and family.
Right on.
Yeah.
Where would you say the best place for people to learn more about your company? Your website, is that the best place?
My Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah, Facebook page. I put a lot of pictures and stuff on there of some of the projects that I do. and
Right on.
So.
Cool. Well, just so everyone knows, I'll be pasting a link to Matt's website, and you can easily click there and check them out. So, what would you say your most requested services are from your customers? I know you really focus on residential, but is there like aluminum wiring? Is that maybe your most requested service within residential?
My most requested service would be panel and service upgrades.
Okay.
Someone, you know, it's just a rat nest over the years of this house being 30, 40 years old, and people adding to the panel, and the wires are just all over the place.
The old garage subservice and
Yeah,
everything like
yeah.
that.
So, you know, I can go in and within a day have the panel changed out and all the circuits put back in nice and neat and orderly and properly labeled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice new panel schedule, all updated, so that's good stuff.
Yeah.
So from like a lower amperage panel to a higher one, you do those as well,
Yeah.
as well as cleaning up and organizing kind of thing?
Yeah.
Right on. Okay. If there's one service you had to choose to do the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, I don't know. I like the new construction.
Yeah?
Yeah. So
Everything's clean, you're going in there, clean slate, and you can just go to town on it?
yeah. And then I know exactly what's done and how everything's ran, and I can walk away with a real sense of pride on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I think it's definitely your baby if you do it from start to finish.
Yeah.
And you know that thing will look like that forever kind of thing, unless someone else comes in there.
Yeah.
And there should be no need for someone else to come clean up your wiring or anything if you do it clean the first time.
Yeah, that's right.
Right on, man. Cool. So what are all these areas that you provide your services to? So definitely here in Spruce Grove. So are we doing around Edmonton and Edmonton as well?
Yeah, you betcha. Edmonton, greater Edmonton area. I've had customers request my services in Red Deer, Hinton, Edson, so pretty much Alberta wide.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a large playing field. It can definitely cover some ground there. So I know we talked a little bit about your website, but has it played a big role in your business at all? Like being able to have a platform that you can tell people to look at, or I guess people searching and coming to your website, has it played a big role for you?
Not as big as I had hoped. I guess there needs to be some upkeep and some more effort put into the website itself, but there's a little bit of traffic on there that helps.
Cool.
It legitimizes you a little bit more than the backyard guy, right?
Yeah.
Having a website and an online presence lets people do their research, do a quick Google search on you and say, yeah, that seems like a legitimate company they could feel comfortable hiring.
Yeah, it's like your digital store, I guess. So
Yeah.
cool, man. If you're to look 6 months or a year into the future, where would you like to see your business? Would you like a huge demand or increase in demand for your services? Maybe step away and play more of the manager role, or essentially the end goal, have a business that runs and manages itself?
Well, definitely within a year, I'd like to be in the manager role, be a little bit more off of the tools and be out there selling.
Really focusing on moving the company forward,
Yeah.
and having the guys do the quality work that you would have
That's still
done.
onto my standards,
Yeah.
for sure. I'd love to be working out of a shop in an office instead of my garage.
Okay.
But it's doing well for me now, so until it's absolutely needed, then I don't necessarily need to do that either.
Cool, man. What would you say your most memorable customer experience that you've had? I'm sure you've had many, but maybe there's one that shined more than all the others.
Yeah, so I guess the most memorable one would be a customer that I had where her panel didn't have an interior barrier, so you'd open the door and it was just the live bus work in there. And they had nuisance tripping, so she'd be down there every day resetting breakers, and more than a few times she zapped herself on the live stuff, so she had me come in and replace that panel, and I did it up really nice for them. And when they sent me the payment, the answer to the question was awesome, and the question was, what are you? So that's a pretty high compliment to get. Yeah.
Nice. Right on. Well, and that's another huge thing about how you like doing new installations. You can ensure you've been on both ends where panels are just a disaster, rat's nest, whatever you want to call them. But you know, when you go and do a new house, it will be like that forever, and these homeowners won't have to be dealing with these types of phone calls. So that's good stuff, man. Yeah, I think your customer experience helps motivate you to do more in a new installation, I'd say.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that pretty much wraps up the interview here. So is there anything else you'd like to say about your company or anything?
No, unless you're looking for good, high quality work in a timely manner for a fair price, give me a call.
Right on. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Matt from Positive Power here, and have a good day.